Louisiana has its own DOGE, and Louisiana has its own RFK Jr. Why do I say that? Well, back in December, I think there was talks about it, and the conservative morning show I listened to try and get some show prep, and I'll sometimes call in and debate the fools that are on there. Uh, you know, the host basically said that he had spoken to the governor of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, and he said that he was going to that he should do something like at the state level, like they're doing on the federal level, by making a DOGE like LA version. So that's apparently what Jeff Landry is doing. He's going to try and do all of the horrible things that Elon Musk is doing at the federal level and bring it down to the state of Louisiana. What could go wrong, they say. But not only that, the state's Surgeon General, Dr. Ralph Abraham, Dr. Ralph Abraham ran for Congress once. Dr. Ralph Abraham was featured in a commercial for Bobby Jindal way back in the day, I think in his first gubernatorial campaign. It might have been a second, I don't know. But it basically talking about how Governor Jindal was so wonderful back when he was in charge of the Louisiana Department of Health, because he did such wonderful things for that Department of Health by turning our deficit into a surplus or whatever that was. In reality, it meant by running a surplus in the Louisiana Department of Health, Bobby Jindal ended up not spending money that should have been used to get better health outcomes for the people on states' Medicaid systems. And what they ended up doing is they ended up closing down rural clinics so that the people would have to go potentially drive longer distances. Or maybe they could just go to Dr. Abraham's clinic, and I wonder how much more people Dr. Abraham got, in his clinic because Bobby Jindal ended up shuttering clinics to save money. I mean, the conservative motivation for everything seems to always be profit, but maybe, just maybe, making sure that people are taken care of and people have their health issues dealt with properly shouldn't be an issue of profit. Some things are necessities that need to be done, and they're good to do them simply for the fact that they're good to do. But now, Dr. Ralph Abraham is the Louisiana State Surgeon General, and he is quoted as saying, "The state of Louisiana and the Louisiana Department of Health have historically promoted vaccines for vaccine-preventable illnesses through our parish health units, community health fairs, partnerships, and media campaigns." Excuse me. Abraham wrote in a memo addressed to LDH team members, "While we encourage each patient to discuss the risks and benefits of vaccination with their provider, the Louisiana Department of Health will no longer promote mass vaccinations." The directive, first reported by Times-Picayune, came the same day that anti-vaccine advocate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was sworn in as Secretary of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. It was a timing that Dr. Jennifer Avegno, director of the Health Department for the City of New Orleans, said wasn't a coincidence. She said now they have in the ultimate health authority in America someone who has been a champion of the same falsehoods that has been promulgated today. Avegno told CNN during a Senate confirmation Kennedy was given opportunities to walk back his stances on vaccines and he didn't really take them. New Orleans basically said that we have a independent health department here and is not subject to the state's directive and that they will not be abiding. So fortunately, I live in the city of New Orleans, and the city of New Orleans will continue to promote max vaccinations to the people in the city to make sure that we're healthy. Unfortunately, we're surrounded by non-New Orleans parish residents, and as such, we're going to see things like going down, like vaccination rates, and things going up like measles rates, mumps, rubella, all the polio, all the things that, we had stopped and brought to a halt are now going to be coming back live in living color in the state of Louisiana because we have basically pandered to the lowest common denominator. Donald Trump said that he loved the poorly educated, and the poorly educated constantly try and prove themselves worthy of that love. And, for somebody who is a doctor, a medical doctor, to say that we should not be promoting max vaccinations, I could almost forgive RFK Jr. because he's not a doctor for his false beliefs about vaccines. But this is a doctor. This is ridiculous. This is absurd. And again, we as a state are going to be putting more people at risk. Not only people, children who should be getting their vaccinations but now won't be, because you have parents who have been made to fear and believe falsehoods about vaccines and what vaccines do, and the link of vaccinations and autism, and how autism has supposedly risen over the course of the last 10, 20 years, or ever since we started mass vaccinations, which is their typical go-to line. Of course, they're confusing correlation and causation there. We can get into that in a little bit if you want. However, but it's also going to harm people who can't get vaccinated against these diseases and rely on the herd immunity that's created by having everybody else vaccinated. So you reduce the vectors of transmission that these diseases that we've gotten rid of can take to get into the populace and harm the people who are the most vulnerable when it comes to vaccines. Take, for example, my wife, who this is going to hit close to home because of the condition that she was diagnosed with. It is very well possible that she may not be able to take any live vaccine variants or whatever. She is going to be limited on the types of vaccines that she could take because it could harm her system. So they're putting my wife at risk by doing this, by not going with the science, by not trusting the science. So you better believe that I'm going to be ranting about this day in and day out, because we have a terribly uninformed populace who think that Donald Trump is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they're going to trust this guy because, he's a doctor, so why shouldn't we believe this doctor on what we're going to do? Well, this doctor is a politician first, doctor second. So, yes, Aaron, I can't take any live vaccines because of the treatment I'm on. I think the immunoglobulin therapy that my wife got is what is causing her to not be able to get the live vaccines. I don't know if you're also receiving that as well, Aaron. But yeah, basically, the low information voter is being pandered to. Instead of setting the example of, this is what we should do as a society, they've chosen to just pander to the large amount of voters who they know they won't be able to win if they piss off. So they're just going to keep pandering to them and cause more people to get sick. More people will die in Louisiana, etc. So what do you think? Do you agree with Louisiana's new rules or policies on promoting vaccines or not? Leave your comments down below. Remember to like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and unless you're a Nazi, have a good day.